In today's video, we're talking all about progression as a DJ. So how to get better gigs, how to get more gigs. Sorry I didn't post last week, by the way. I've just been overcoming a bit of an illness. Still a little bit croaky today, but we will try and overcome it. Hopefully this will turn out okay. But yes, progression as a DJ. Now, when I talk about better gigs, okay, this has to be taken at an individual basis. So your better is going to be different to somebody else's better. For me, for example, I always wanted to, as a DJ, get to the main rooms of the clubs in the commercial kind of sector, so the high street. That was my better. Started off as a mobile DJ, bars, pubs, and then a warm-up DJ, and then got to that kind of main slot, and that's where I have been ever since. But, you know, a better gig to another person might be playing a festival. It might be being booked for a 1 hour slot as part of a lineup, being booked as an artist rather than a DJ. It could be playing better party rooms. It might be progressing from the party room to the main room. Now, before we get into some fundamentals on how I think you can progress as a DJ, the one thing that I think you really need to take into account, right, is that you're going to need some patience, and it does take time. So time and patience is kind of key to progression. Like, you might go to your favorite nightclub that's local to you and you see that DJ in the DJ booth. Well, they didn't get there overnight. There's probably been a lot of years of experience building up to that moment, playing not so many good gigs in order to get there. So now we've got the whole time and patience thing out the way. What can you do to progress your DJing career? Now, we're going to split this into two kind of parts because there are some fundamental differences here. First and foremost, we'll talk about the high street type clubs, bars, etc. The types of venues that I work in. A lot of people want to work in those, so we'll talk about those. And then we can talk about being an artist and being part of a festival lineup, that side of things a little bit later on. I do have some ideas around that, even though that's not the type of DJ that I am. But when it comes to the high street, the commercial venues, the ones that are out there, the one thing that is going to enable you to progress your career as a DJ is your reputation. And there are a number of ways in which you can build your reputation, but reputation is absolutely everything, because here in the UK especially, all right, I don't know every manager, I don't know every DJ out there, but you are never that far away, because the industry is quite small. You're never that far away from a manager or a DJ that will actually know who you are and what you are about. So it's pretty easy for a manager or someone that's looking to book a DJ, or another DJ maybe looking to book cover, to find out about you and what you're about as a DJ. Unfortunately, that is just the reality of the situation. So how can you improve your reputation? Well, the first thing is ensuring that you are reliable. One of the main things with being a DJ is, unfortunately, we work antisocial hours. If your mates work a Monday to Friday 9 to 5 job, like most other people in the UK, the likeliness is that they are going to be out partying, celebrating birthdays, you know, whatever they're doing on a Friday and Saturday night. And lo and behold, that is when most DJs have to go out and work. So when you're a DJ, okay, and if you want to build your reputation, you need to unfortunately make social sacrifices. That means you are not going to be able to attend every single one of your mate's birthday nights out. You're not going to be able to go out and celebrate, I don't know, your mate's job promotion. Even if you want to go out partying on a Saturday night, unfortunately, there's going to be times, a lot of times, when you are going to have to say, no, sorry, I'm DJing, okay? If you are known as the DJ that takes, say you get a residency on a Saturday night, and you are known to be that DJ that takes every other weekend off because you want to go out, I don't think it's going to last too long for you. That is just the reality. I know, for example, where I work at the moment, okay, there is a really good DJ who's even a mate of mine, but the manager that I work for at the moment will not book him, not because he's no good, but because he refuses to work between Christmas and New Year, including New Year's Eve. He will not work on New Year's Eve. And that manager that I work for, he wants his DJs to be able to work on a New Year's Eve, the biggest night of the year. And as a result, he will never get booked by that particular manager. And obviously managers move around venues quite a lot and they all talk to each other. So reliability is key. Point number 2 on building your reputation, and that is sticking to the brief of what you have been asked to play for that particular room or that particular venue. The chances are, if you're playing on the high street, you know, the music is going to be pretty mainstream. It's going to be pretty commercial. I have seen so many DJs that get booked to play a high street gig and they think that that is the, you know, they've been brought into the main room and they think that is the green light to smash out a load of techno, a load of drum and bass, and the crowd are going to love it. Well, unfortunately, they won't. The reality is, on the high street, the type of customer that comes to these types of venues wants to hear the song with lyrics. They want to hear the stuff they know, the stuff they can sing along to, and just have a good night out with mates. They don't care about you playing 140 BPM underground techno with no lyrics. They don't care about 4-depth mixing in all of your James Hype style transitions. And you might impress your mates that you've got to come along to that gig, but apart from that, you're not really going to impress anyone. You're probably going to piss off the manager, and you're probably likely not to get booked again, or you're going to lose your residency pretty quickly. Unfortunately, that is just the reality of the situation. Now, I'm a bit lucky on my Friday night, for example. I can play a lot more house and a lot more tech house, but the way I would describe my room is it's like a commercial crossover room. I still play a few commercial bits in there. I can push it a little bit with going a little bit more underground as well, which is good. It works for that particular room. It is about reading the crowd. Some nights I can't get away with much underground stuff. So yeah, read the room. But ultimately, the likeliness is that if you're booked to play a certain type of genre of music and it's on the high street, it's likely going to have to be a mass market appealing type of set. As for like the technical elements of your set, like the James Hype style transitions, I've got absolutely nothing against creativity. However, the majority of that crowd, they don't care. That's the reality of the situation. They don't care that you've got acapellas over instrumentals and that you can move the fader up and down really quickly to chop in and out effects or anything like that. If you can do it and you can pull it off in a commercial environment, then fine, go for it. But you're not really impressing anyone. So it's completely up to you, really. Factor number 3 that is going to improve your reputation, and that is remaining professional. Ultimately, when you're booked to DJ at a venue, it is work, it is your job. And the best approach is to treat it that way and remain professional. So that does not mean rocking up to the venue with 50 of your mates, turning up, getting absolutely bladdered at the bar before your set, drinking on the job, okay? Now, there are times where I've DJ'd and I've been allowed to have a few drinks. However, I would say that probably represents 5% of all the gigs that I do. And once I have established my reputation with the manager of that particular venue. DJing is one of the best jobs in the world for that kind of flexibility, which is amazing. However, you want to get yourself well established and know where the boundaries are with your particular manager before you turn up with your mates, have drinks, etc., etc. And as I said, for the majority of the gigs that you do, you should turn up by yourself, maybe bring 1 or 2 mates if you really want to, but make sure that you're, not seen to be with them on the night out, focus on your work. But yeah, majority of the time, turn up by yourself, don't drink, drive, and remain professional. So those are 3 factors that can help to improve your reputation. And as I said, here in the UK especially, the DJ industry is small. Managers move around from venue to venue. And that's how I've actually got to play in so many venues over my career, because I've created a good impression in one venue. that manager has moved and has started managing another venue, and they've taken me along with them because they wanted to change things up when they've reached their other venue. They wanted a DJ that they know and someone that they can trust. And these types of, relationships do happen over time. So just bear that in mind. Building your reputation will help you to progress in your DJing career. The other thing that's going to help you to progress as a DJ, especially in the mainstream kind of nightclub world here in the UK especially, is networking. Get to know as many people in the nightclub industry as possible, because this is the gateway. This is like going to open up a lot of doors for you. Get to know other DJs, get to know door staff, get to know promoters, get to know management teams. Get to know and speak to as many people as possible, because when you have got that good reputation and you know people, those things come hand in hand together and will help you to progress in your career. Okay, for example, if you're working in a multi-room club, speak to the other DJs. If you've got a good reputation, the other DJs might speak to other DJs in their network, and when one of them goes on holiday, they might be able to sort of get you in to that venue that way. For example, when I go on holiday, I recommend DJs to my manager that I know and trust will do a good job covering the room that I need covering. It saves them a job in having to find someone else, number one, so it takes a bit of a weight off of their to-do list. But also, I know that I'm getting reliable and decent cover. So get to know other DJs. Thing is as well with this tactic, doing cover gigs can actually lead to residencies, because when I potentially move on from the venue that I'm working in, because I've already covered a gig in that venue and I've done well and the manager's seen me, you've almost like done a trial for that venue. So you might get invited back to take on the residency when the resident DJ leaves. There is a fine line, of course. You don't want to tread on the DJ's toes and get the reputation of going behind their back and trying to steal the gig. But just being a reliable cover DJ is a good gateway to getting gigs in the venues. So just make sure that you are speaking to as many people as possible. And if you are known for having a good reputation, coupled with the fact that you network with people and you speak to lots of people, those things will go hand in hand, and it's going to enable you to progress in your DJing career. Secondly then, let's talk about progression in terms of being booked as an artist as part of a lineup, rather than being booked as the resident DJ in the types of venues that I play in. So this is like a festival lineup, the big clubs in London or Ibiza or wherever it may be. First and foremost, this is the situation where I actually think social media plays a lot more of an important part. Building your brand, building your presence on social media. Now, contrary to a lot of people's beliefs, the type of DJing that I do, I don't really believe that you need a big social media following in order to get those types of bookings. That is my opinion. I'm sure people are getting booked because they've got some kind of following on social media, but I have never been booked for my social media following at all. In fact, on Instagram, it's like next to nothing. So I don't think it's as important in my line of work. However, if you want to be booked as an artist, then it is more important to have an audience. And the reason why is because people with audiences, and genuine audiences, so not buying a load of fake followers, okay, they have more clout. Second thing, and this is where social media and this is going to play an important part, is you need to be producing music. Okay, gone are the days where these clubs, festivals, etc. are booking just DJs. They are booking artists, they're booking producers. You need to be producing music, sharing that with your audience on social media so they know that you're about that, that's what you're about. And then, hopefully getting that record or whatever you're releasing signed. And then that is your way to getting booked, okay? Because when these artists are being booked, the festival, the promoter is obviously putting quite a lot of risk in booking you, and they want to know that you are going to have a pull. They want to know that you're going to be pulling people in. People are coming to see you at the end of the day. Whereas on the high street, people aren't coming for me. People are coming to drink, dance, and have a good time. And that is the key fundamental difference, and where social media and producing records and stuff has more of an impact, okay? Hope you found this video useful. Please let me know your thoughts down in the comments down below. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thumbs up. It really helps me more than you know, and I will see you in the next video.